All right, and then our big news of the week is with Fast X.
I'm still calling it Fast 10. I'm never calling it Fast X.
So
Never calling it that.
last week we found out that the director Justin Lin was leaving, and fun fact, they were losing $1 million per day while finding a replacement.
So I read the story on Variety about all of this,
Yeah.
and it was, or was it Hollywood Reporter? It was actually both. I read a story on both, and there were reports of inside those meetings where they would go and review certain things because then they would have to book location shots, and in the middle of it, because Vin Diesel is also a producer and he has like so much control on the franchise, that he would just change a lot of stuff randomly on a whim. And that was getting to be really frustrating for Justin Lin because there's all this planning and that gets set up, and then just to change up an entire like set piece action sequence, or we're just going to add something, or we're going to change certain dialogue, we're going to change this stuff from one point to another. It got to be so dysfunctional to the point where, I guess, on top of that, the reports of Vin Diesel's working behavior, being on set late, not being prepared to do his stuff, really taking and burning up a lot of time, and at the same time making all those changes because of that, and just having it more revolve around him and his whims instead of the overall project, really forced Justin Lin to just, you know what, deuces.
Yeah, I mean, because it reflects on him. It makes him look like he's not doing his job, which is keeping everything in order. True. So, I mean, I would understand. I mean, even if he was probably going to get a lot of money from doing this movie, so you could just imagine, like, him walking away is a big deal because.
Oh, for sure. And he's still staying on as a producer. But
I think he helped write it too. So I mean, he's getting writing credit unless they change everything.
Out of spite, which I wouldn't put past Vin Diesel. But Anthony was telling me earlier that that kind of corroborates a lot of the stuff with the beef that we heard that was going on between Dwayne Johnson and Vin Diesel.
Yeah, he didn't like his work ethic. And you know, The Rock is notorious for doing everything.
It's all about power.
Everything on time and doing what he needs to do. And
the rap said it all, everybody. The rap said it all. But yeah, it's we've talked about it before. How like Dwayne Johnson's just constant work ethic from one to another is pretty impressive. So if he's on project with something or someone that, especially with such a high caliber of a high level of influence in the project, and that's not meeting up, and like, hey, I'm ready to work, especially with all the busy stuff he's going on, and they're not ready to work, like that's going to be a point of contention.
Yeah, apparently that $1 million per day that they were losing was also a lot to do with that they're paying a lot of money to all the actors in this movie.
Yeah.
So it's just like you have crew and then high paid actors sitting around doing nothing while they're waiting for a new director.
So apparently in that article that I was reading, that Xavier also read, they mentioned that this film, the budget for the film so far has gotten up to $300 million.
Oh my god!
And 100 million of that is for cast alone.
Oh my Jesus Christ!
What's the highest, or what movie has the highest budget? Do we know?
That
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates of the Caribbean
on Stranger
No, at World's End.
No,
it's
on Stranger Tides.
On Stranger Tides.
It was just the fourth one.
Fifth one.
The fourth one. No, Stranger Tides is the fourth one.
Yeah, the fourth one.
It's like 300.
What was the fifth one called?
Dead Men Tell No Tales.
380 million.
It was one of those is the highest.
Yeah,
I don't remember which one it is, but it's one of those. It's 4 or 5.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I mean that's pretty close. It's getting pretty close to being one of the highest.
It's tied with
budgets.
Justice League at 300 million.
Jeez.
Oh yeah, Justice League.
But Justice League had like.
Yeah, but Justice League had
reshoots.
They had to reshoot almost the whole movie.
That a whole second movie.
Right.
Yeah.
They haven't shot anything yet for Fast and Furious.
Correct.
So what if they had to do reshoots for Fast and Furious?
Well, according to what I just film sources across the web, looking like obviously we look at Infinity War and Endgame, like those had budgets of upwards of 300.
Yeah,
each.
but that made it all
That's
back.
understandable.
Yeah. Well, definitely made
they
it all
also
back.
had a ton
Age of Ultron was 365. Like
wow.
365 million. Yeah. But I'm trying to find the budget for the Fate of the Furious was 250 and
but so you're talking about Endgame and Infinity War that had a ton of actors in it.
The culmination of everything.
Yeah, and in Marvel. So this isn't like. I know they probably want to think it is, but it's not Endgame.
Yeah, really
Even
was
though
the
Vin
fourth.
Diesel probably-
Really was the fourth
The fourth
Pirates
one.
movie. $378.5 million
That's insane.
budget.
Wow.
And that was a bad movie too.
Hey,
It wasn't bad. It was just not as good
Hey.
as the first three.
hey,
Sure.
I still like that movie because I just love how like the secondary antagonists, the Spanish, they just rolled up, crashed the party, like spoiler alert, break the whole the fountain of youth cup, and they just said deuces Catholicism and left. Like they didn't fight anybody else. They're just like, F your couch, F this fountain. It just no one can give it. Like he just stomped all over it, broke it. No one can give life except the living Lord, and then just they peace out. That's it. That's the funniest. I was cracking up in the theater because just how petty the Spanish were. It's so great.
I also have a soft spot for that movie because the music is done by Hans Zimmer and one of my favorite groups, Rodrigo and Gabriela. So
Yup.
check them out. Awesome, a duo acoustic guitar group.
Ian
Check 'em out.
McShane as Blackbeard's pretty cool, man. Like as a villain, like Ian McShane's is cool. Like I could defend that movie. Like I would go on record to defend it. But
It's just not as good as the other three.
correct. Man, that's nuts. So we talking about who end up picking up the job?
Yeah, so it is. I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but it's Louis Leterrier.
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 Louis Leterrier.
He did the Incredible Hulk
Leterrier?
and
Maybe?
Louis?
Transporter 2.
Louis Leterrier? Possibly.
Oh,
But we got
see.
Incredible Hulk and Transporter 2 on the resume.
Oh, man. Incredible movies.
Transporter 2. Hop, hop. Dodged both bullets.
Oh, man.
Takes
Barrel
bombs
roll
off
bombs.
your car, yeah.
Barrel bomb defusal.
Hey, what's the best way to not get hurt if you're in a plane that's about to crash into water? What's the best way to avoid that?
Danny, what's the answer to that question? Because you have seen the movie now too.
I did. Do nothing.
No,
No,
it's
you just have
jump
to,
in the
you just
air.
have to jump at the right time
Oh,
when,
that's right,
when
yeah.
the plane hits the water,
Yep. And
so
then
you don't feel any impact.
Good lord. So
I like how the bomb. I think you mentioned it. The bomb under the car.
Yeah,
Where he just hits it off the
Basic.
crane.
he did like a
See-
Hot Wheels leading the way, whatever.
if that stunt is not in the Hot Wheels movie, I'm gonna be really mad.
Or we got
But it's gonna be a speed racer movie.
Or
I hope
we
so.
got
With
the,
bombs.
the kid in the beginning, terrible at riddles.
And acting.
Imagine the Riddler giving that kid the
Oh
riddles.
my god.
It's just what was the riddle that gave him in that movie? I don't remember it, but I remember that just that, one, the kid not being a great actor, but two, like just like not knowing. It was something else.
Yeah.
But speaking of not knowing, he has a good, like over time, Louis Leterrier, he's done a good job of this because of, I guess, picking up in the middle of franchises or just, I think he can handle a lot of moving pieces. He did Clash of the Titans. Obviously, I mean, after
It's the
Transporter
first one or
2,
the second one?
the first one, Clash.
Okay, the second one's Wrath, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
second one's Wrath. But he also did a project that I'm really fond of that I really wish, now that Netflix is in the news for a lot of just for their stock tanking because they're losing subscribers. I wonder why. Stop canceling shows like The Dark Crystal, Age of Resistance. That was all helmed by this director. He really fought for the practical effects and for the practical puppetry that goes on in that show. It's really well done. Even if you've never seen the original, which is that on Disney? No, I think Netflix might have the original on it. But even if you've never seen the original Dark Crystal, like watch Age of Resistance. Even though it's gonna end on sort of a cliffhanger, watch it. It's done really well. Voice acting, the puppetry behind it, all great stuff. But he also did one of Anthony's favorites, Now You See Me.
But he didn't do Now You Don't.
No, he did not. No, he don't.
That movie doesn't exist.
No, he don't. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he also did an episode of Lupin,
Ooh.
which is on Netflix. Yeah, he did the first 3 episodes of season 1.
Nice.
That one's with Omar Sy. It's on Netflix. Highly recommend it. Watch it. It's a good crime heist thriller type of show. All in French, so you're gonna have to read subtitles. But it's acted really well. Ha ha, oui oui. But no, it's actually really good. I really, really recommend it.
Nice.
So I think he can pick up the pieces. I think he'll play ball. Like he'll handle whatever weirdo changes. It's just Universal and NBC Comcast are just gonna have to fork over the money to make this thing work. I think.
Fine. They're about to end.
He
so.
could take them to the moon, so it's all good.